Hello, my name is Holly Fowler. I am a certified health coach and personal trainer. I've had ulcerative colitis and inflammatory bowel disease for the last, almost 14 years. And for the last 10 days, I've had, you guessed it, COVID. Now, I wanted to create a video like this because I think it's important to share information, share your experiences. So I'm going to share my own personal experience with having COVID while also having an autoimmune disease like ulcerative colitis. So bear with me. I want to share this information with you, but I've never done a video like this before. So it may be a little raw, my voice may cut out, but guys, I've got my tea and I'm spilling the tea. Okay, that was super cheesy. But it's happening. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you enjoy it, please subscribe, like, and comment below. Thanks, guys. Let's jump into it. So about a week and a half ago, my husband came home from work. He travels a lot for work. So he came home, felt really, really exhausted. And, he's been working a lot, so we treated it as exhaustion. He just rested on the couch, took it easy. And for over the next couple of days, he just felt really run down and didn't think anything of it. However, he tests regularly on a weekly basis for his job. And so by that Sunday morning, he walked into the bedroom and let me know that he tested positive, which, by the way, this is the first time ever that anyone in our household has tested positive. So it was a huge shock because by Sunday he felt better. He was only really down and out for about 2 days. By Sunday he felt great, but his test came back positive. And so to do the responsible thing, I felt fine. I was in the middle of getting ready for church and stopped getting ready, dropped everything, went straight to get tested. I felt fine and continued on with my day while, staying at home and waiting for the test results. So I continued on with my day. I filmed an audition. I felt great. It was actually a pretty physical audition. And so there was a lot of, somersaults involved without going into too much detail. And I felt fine. My body just felt, a little bit weaker than normal. And so instead of a workout that day, I did a yoga routine. And I noticed that my muscles felt kind of weaker than normal. But I just took that as a sign of hey, slow down. So I just did a really short yoga sequence and then moved on with my day, filmed that audition, and it was about midday. I went to go for a walk to the grocery store just 3 blocks away. And I didn't make it to the end of the first block when I just felt like I needed to turn around. My body does not feel good right now. So I felt really tired and really weak. And so I just turned around and went back home and sat on the couch and rested. Because, with an autoimmune disease, there's a lot of fatigue involved from day to day. So I've just really learned to listen to my body and not push it. I mean, that's taken me 14 years to learn that, but I've learned it nonetheless. And so I was on the couch just chilling, and, I felt like every hour something else appeared. It just happened like that. I swear, you guys, I felt weaker and weaker. And every time I stood up, I felt like I had another symptom. The congestion started coming on. And I remember just feeling worse and worse, the body aches hit. I was really tired. The body aches were the worst part on that first day, on that Sunday. My body just started hurting and I couldn't describe it. And I still can't really describe it, but my body just hurt so bad. And so I just kind of curled up. We have a love sack in our living room, and I just curled up on that love sack and didn't move for hours. We watched TV, and then suddenly I looked around. I'm like, is anyone else freezing? I mean, we live in LA. It's not freezing, guys. It's not. And I just remember being so cold and getting up, closing. We had a door open, a sliding glass door open. I closed the glass door. I put on a hoodie. I put on sweatpants. I covered myself up with a thick blanket, and I was still just shivering. I was shivering so much I could not get warm, to the point where my husband, my sweet, sweet husband, went and got a space heater that we had from a previous apartment that didn't have central heating, and brought out the space heater, turned it on next to me, and I still could not get warm, you guys. I was so cold for hours. I was just hurting. My body hurt, the chills, the congestion, and the just overall fatigue was the first day. I was just curled up in that ball. My husband ordered us pho, which, if you don't know what pho is, it's basically like an Asian chicken noodle soup. Ordered it for us. I took like 2 bites. I was so tired. I hurt so bad that I couldn't even eat. So I sat up, I ate a couple of bites, and I laid back down and didn't get back up until it was time to go to bed. So day 1 was by far the worst. And it really was from like getting the positive test in the morning until bedtime. It was like night and day. And I can't express to you how fast that it came on. It was crazy. So then day 2 was a little deceiving. Not a little, it was a lot deceiving, because I felt fine. I felt almost normal. I had really bad congestion, but that was it. And I kind of thought, oh, is that it? That was nothing. And so I actually filmed another audition, one of my biggest auditions to date, and it took me hours to do it, and I was fine. So I thought, like, oh, well, that's the easiest case of COVID that I've ever heard of. Maybe I just got lucky. And, in the grand scheme of things, I did get lucky. But day 2 was the most deceiving, because then when I woke up day 3, I felt terrible all over again. And, I won't give you the play-by-play after day 3, so, because it all felt like a blur. Day 3 to, like, I would say day 7, I just felt terrible. Like, I had severe body aches, severe fatigue. Like, it hurt to do normal activities. I really was only able to, like, lay on the couch and watch TV. And so let's see, major body aches, body chills, major fatigue, lots of congestion, like a really bad cold you would expect. And then get this, in the middle of the night, I would have random body sweats, night sweats. I know that's super gross, but I read that is the difference between Omicron and the other ones, is that you get night sweats. So that is something to look forward to. I'm just kidding. But night sweats were like something that I wasn't expecting. However, I never lost my taste or smell, which is the difference from other variants of COVID. So I always had my taste or smell, but the congestion, the fatigue, the body aches, the night sweats, those like took over like the entire rest of the week, where I was down for the count. I run my own business, and I was not able to run my business that week. I, checked in on my clients, but that was it. I caught up on a lot of television and just rested my body. I really only just started feeling better maybe 2 days ago. That was, I'm trying to keep track, day 8 was when I felt better, started feeling better, where I didn't have as severe fatigue. And what I did was I started like going for a really short walk with a mask on around my neighborhood, just to get my body moving, so that I wasn't just stuck on the couch. Like, as I started feeling just a little bit better, I like took my dog for a walk around the around the neighborhood, around the block. And I would come back and I would be so tired, I would just need to take a nap. So for the last like 2 or 3 days, I've started feeling more like myself, less congested, no night sweats, no body aches, no body chills. It's really just the lingering fatigue. And if you can hear my voice, just a little bit of congestion left over from COVID. Now, the big question, if you have an autoimmune disease, particularly Crohn's or colitis, this is like the ultimate question. Did it affect my colitis? And the answer is kind of. It's really hard to tell. I don't have a definitive answer for you because one of the symptoms that I read is actually diarrhea or gastrointestinal distress. So it's hard to tell if it was just like a general symptom of COVID or if it, threw me into a flare-up. A little bit of context on my current state for colitis is that I was in like a baby flare-up about a month ago. So I was already on a low dose of prednisone, tapering down, feeling so much better when I got COVID. And so for the first few days, my symptoms actually felt great. I felt like completely normal and like total remission. And I then mid last week when I was in the thick of it, I started having some symptoms, like very mild, but I didn't want it to get worse. And so I went up on my prednisone. I was still on it. I was just on a lower dose. And so I increased my prednisone temporarily just to make sure that it didn't turn into a flare-up. So my recommendation for you is if you have COVID and you do start feeling symptoms related to your autoimmune disease or related to another health condition, definitely reach out to your doctor as soon as possible so you guys can mitigate it. You guys can stop it in its tracks. Do not wait until it gets worse. Like start the second you feel like something is happening, like you're feeling symptoms again. Do not wait. The earlier is always better. How did I take care of myself when I had COVID? What did I take? What did I eat? So I mentioned just previously that I was working through a small flare-up of ulcerative colitis. So I was already on a very whole foods, nutrient-dense diet already. That's generally how I eat anyway. And so I just kept with that. I ate tons of fruit, tons of veggies, tons of protein. I mean, my appetite, I didn't really have a strong appetite. So when I did eat, I made sure that what I ate had lots of nutrients that were feeding my body and helping me heal from COVID, and not these like packaged processed foods with sugar and chemicals and additives that are going to inhibit the healing. So if you have COVID, or really this is just a general rule for eating, or if you've ever work with me as a health coaching client, I'll tell you, like, what you eat matters, and you want to feed your body foods that are going to help your body to heal itself rather than to promote inflammation in the body. So what I did was, like I said, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. I used noon hydration tablets that have extra vitamins. I made sure that I took my multivitamin that had a high dose of vitamin D and zinc in it to make sure that my body was healing properly. I took a lot of herbs that were going to promote healing. So I was very, very conscious about what I was putting into my body and making sure that it was given everything that it needed to heal as quickly as possible. And where do I go from here? So I feel so much better. I'm now on day 10 since my initial testing positive for COVID. I feel so much better. I'm finally able to work and, record videos like this for you guys. But I'm not working at full speed yet, full capacity. I'm, prioritizing and making sure that I'm getting the most important things done, but I'm working at about half capacity right now to make sure that my body has plenty of time to rest. And in terms of exercise, I'm really just going for walks right now. Again, with my mask on very carefully. And I'm not jumping back into my workouts. I don't feel like my body is there yet. I am just thankful that I'm able to exercise by walking, which totally counts as a workout for if anybody cares. So that's where I'm at. I believe that movement is exercise. So as long as I'm moving my body, I think that counts as exercise. So I would love to get back into workouts, but I'm not going to push myself. I've learned that time and time again by doing it the wrong way with my ulcerative colitis. And so that's where I'm at. I'm taking it day by day and continuing to feed my body the nutrients and the supplements and vitamins that it needs to continue to heal. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this journey through my experience with COVID and having ulcerative colitis. And I just want to say that if you are ever interested in learning more about working together, or if you're looking for a free consultation, just click the link in my bio and I'm happy to chat. I'm always here. And if you have any continued questions that you want to have answered about COVID or about ulcerative colitis or just health in general, just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to respond to them as soon as possible. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.